just aren't as smart as me. This robot can't even walk over banana peels. Let me show you how it's done.
Hello and welcome to another issue of the Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. Today we're going to continue our series on the Lancer role-playing game. Today we're going to be discussing the manufacturers of the mechs. There are 4 main manufacturers and we're going to discuss each one. So let's not waste any time, let's go! When it comes to mechs, there are different types which kind of describe the play style that each one of these mechs is going to have when you choose it. So there's the artillery type, which are like the long-range blaster types. There's the strikers, which are close combat. There's the controller, which are the debuffers. They control the opponents and kind of mess with their systems and stuff. Then there's the support mech, which are the buffers. They help your team buff up. And then there's the defenders, which are like your tanks. They can take hits and can serve as shields. Now, I said that there are 4 main manufacturers, and there are, but there is one additional one, which is the first one you'll encounter if you start at license level 0, which is your first level, quote unquote. And that is General Massive Systems, also known as GMS. There, in the lore of this book of Lancer, the GMS manufacturer is the first one that invented mechs, and so they are the standard for mech creation. And the only mech that they make, which is the most popular mech in the entire galaxy, universe, etc., is the GMS Standard Pattern 1, also known as GMS SP1 Everest. And this is the one that you're going to start with. It's the only one you can choose at the lower levels. And it is pretty good, actually. We're going to go over the details of that one in a future video. But just so you're aware, this is one of the manufacturers, and it will be the first one you encounter. So first up, we have IPS Northstar. And IPS Northstar mechs tend to be more your striker types. Although they do have, within the IPS Northstar, they do have other types. They have controllers, they have artillery, etc. But they're primarily strikers. They're designed for close combat. And you have a listing here of the main mechs in the core rulebook and what they tend to specialize in. Now, bear in mind, mechs are fully customizable. So even though it might say for the Nelson that it's a very fast hit and run melee mech, you can add systems and core power that will make it different, more of a hacker type or a controller type. Each manufacturer has what are called core bonuses, which are special abilities or boosts granted to you by the manufacturer. Now, the GMS, General Massive Systems, core bonuses are available to all pilots from all levels. You pick one, and basically every license level you can change it, or every time you rebuild your mech, you can change it and pick a different core bonus, which will grant you some sort of advantage in some way. Now, each manufacturer has their own specialty core bonuses that are available to loyal customers. So basically what that means is, if you choose after 3 license levels, you stick with the same manufacturer. Every license level you get to choose a new mech that you have access to. And if you choose 3 from the same manufacturer, let's say IPSN, then IPSN will grant you as the customer the ability to choose from their core bonuses when you build your mech. Now, because IPSN's mechs tend to be strikers, their core bonuses generally lean more towards helping you boost your armor or your health, your hit points, things like that, to help you stay longer and be more resilient in hand-to-hand combat. For example, Braero's frame gives you immunity to all damage when you reach a certain hit point level or structure level. Fomorian frame gives you a larger size for your frame, and it makes you basically immune to being knocked prone. Gaiji's frame grants you a +1 advantage to hold checks and saves, and it extends your reach by adding +1 threat. Reinforced frame gives you 5 additional HP. The sloped plating gives you +1 armor, and Titanomic mesh gives you the ability to basically ram multiple times in a round. And it gives you some bonuses to ramming, like knocking back the opponent an additional space. And here's some of the art for some of the mechs from IPSN. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but if you're liking this video, please hit that like button, the thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot, and also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you. Next we have Smith Shimano Corporal, or SSC. These are more ranged type mechs, so they specialize in both artillery type attacks and also with debuffs, so like hacker type attacks. So because these frames are a little bit more fragile, core bonuses actually help you to be a little bit more stealthy. For example, All Theater Movement Suite allows you to fly. You have the full subjectivity sync, gives you a bonus to evasion. Ghost Weave allows you to turn invisible. There's Integrated Nerve Weave, which gives you an additional 2 spaces of movement when you boost. There's the Kai Bioplating, which grants you a +1 bonus on all agility checks and saves. Plus, you can climb and swim at normal speed. You're not affected by difficult terrain, and you can jump up to your full speed, so it gives you a lot of movement bonuses. Then there's Neuralink Targeting, which gives you additional range to your attacks. And here's the art for some of the mechs. And then we have Horus. Horus is actually the specialty techie mech. So basically they are the ones that you use for hacking, for buffing and debuffing. So practically all of Horus's core bonuses help your tech attacks or defenses. We have the Lesson of Disbelief, which gives you +1 accuracy on systems checks and saves and a +2 to E defense. We have the Lesson of the Open Door, which your save target increases by +2, and additionally once per round, when a character fails a save against you, they take 2 heat. The Lesson of the Held Image, once per round as a reaction, you can lock on against any character within sight and sensors. The Lesson of Thinking Tomorrow's Thought, when you hit with a tech attack, your next melee attack against the same target gains +1 accuracy, and the damage can't be reduced, which is a really great bonus. The Lesson of the Transubstantiation, anytime you take structure damage, you disappear into a non-space and cease to be a valid target, and you reappear at the same space at the start of your next turn, which is huge. And then you have the Lesson of Shaping, which allows you to install an additional AI in your mech, so that if one of your AIs cascades or goes crazy, it won't take over your mech. You're able to keep your mech in control. Here's some of the artwork for Horus mechs. Finally, we have Harrison Armory, and these are your tanks. Most of these mechs are going to be defenders, so they can take hits and they can deal damage as well. So your core bonuses are geared more towards taking more hits and taking more heat damage and overcharge, things like that. So the core bonuses, you've got Adaptive Reactor, which when you stabilize, you can choose to cool your mech by spending 2 repairs and clear 1 stress damage. Armory Sculpted Chassis, you have a +1 accuracy on all engineering checks and saves, and when you overcharge, you gain soft cover until the start of your next turn. Heatfall Coolant System, your cost for overcharge never goes past 1d6 heat. Integrated Ammo Feeds, all limited systems and weapons gain an additional 2 charges, which is huge. Stasis Shielding, you have whenever you take stress damage, you gain resistance to all damage until the start of your next turn. That's also huge. And Superior by Design, you gain immunity to impaired and gain a +2 to your heat cap. And you can see with the art that Harrison Armory mechs tend to look really bulky and powerful. And there we have it, closing and finishing another issue and listing it on eBay of the Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. You know what to do. Please hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate all the support, and I will see you on the next one.